my back.
See,
I
yeah,
was like, you were too reckless.
yes. And then when it's gone, people will be like, what?
What happened?
And everyone, just give me a moment. We're just having slight technical difficulties. All right, everyone, happy Tuesday. So they tell me, we're almost out of the month of January. And we're already in 2023. So hopefully it's going great for everybody. All right, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, please let me know that you are here. If you don't answer the docket, I'm going to assume you're not here, and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. We are giving people 5 to 10 minutes because they may be at our old courtroom location. In custody, we have Jonathan Rodriguez, Mark Lewis, Katrina Rios. In custody, we have Michael Shoemaker, Ernest Dominguez Martinez. It's not starting off to be a good Tuesday. In custody, we have Joseph Ramirez, Robert Hitnick.
Present.
Thank you. Jaden Green. Julian Juarez. Fafino Mercado has been reset. Crystal Garcia. Chanel Jackson. Joseph Solis. Santos Rodriguez.
Council's present.
Okay. Kyle Adams is in custody. Michael Rios, Bryce Clark are in custody. Amimi Maush. Okay, I pronounced that name correctly, and he's not even here to hear it. Philip Diller. Okay, Philip Diller is usually here. He's probably at the other end. And by the way, everyone, for our older attorneys, yes, he is related to Phyllis Diller. Brian Parker. Karen Munoz.
This lady I spoke to you about earlier, Your Honor, she has not arrived yet.
All right, thank you. In custody, we have Juan Hernandez, Bernardo Huerta, Zaragoza Tovar, Carlotta Garcia, John Perez. Bryce Clark is in custody. James Brooks. Donald Davies. Herbert King. Thank you. If there's a Lisa Garza here, your case has been reset. Raul Reyes. Matthew Gonzalez,
Present, Your Honor.
Charles Garley. Thank you. In custody, we have Christopher Garza, Nicholas Condeff, April Zuniga, and Melvin Jones. Is there anyone here whose name has not been called? And before you raise your hands, this is the 187 District Court. If you're supposed to be in the 227, it's down the hallway. So let them know you were here. Yes. I'm sorry, what?
The name is Milana Bader.
What did she say her first name was?
Milana.
Milana, okay. And yes,
Rosemary Soriano.
all right, just give us a moment. We'll check on your case. Yes?
Jose Cardosa.
Yes?
Zavala.
All right, just give us a moment. We'll call you up briefly and they'll check to see if you're supposed to be here. And if you don't know who your attorney is, we'll make sure that you have your attorney information before you leave. All right, everyone, this is trial docket day. Jury's going to be in the hallway for a jury trial today. So please confer. And attorneys, if you have a client who is in custody, please ask the deputy for them. Once you ask the deputy for your client, please do not leave the courtroom. The docket is to my left. Just grab your file and place it on the desk. Please have a seat because I try to keep the middle of the courtroom as least congested as possible. The attorneys will call you in order of appearance. If you want to approach the court, please do not approach until you have spoken with your client, conferred with the state, and then just ask the clerk to give me the file and please take your seat and we'll call you in the order of appearance. First will be first, last will be last. All right, everyone, please put some kindness in your day and put some patience in your pocket. Take it out as needed and confer. Have a good one.
Do you want the client?
I need Stacy.
Michael, could you call and see if Stacy can pop over?
She texted me this morning, just she was parking at 9:01, got stuck in the traffic.
All right.
She knows she's specific.
All right, thank you.
There, Judge, I use your patience in my pocket.
But you know what? I know that you guys are wearing suit coats, so I know there are hidden pockets. So there are plenty. And share. Deputy Laura, either Caroline, could you call the 227 and let them know, see if they can make the announcement if there are people in the 187th there? Thank you. Yes. Hi. Yes. Do y'all have a file?
Oh, yeah, where's your court's file? No.
Oh, just give her a moment. She just stepped.
No problem, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Santos Rodriguez. Santos Enoch, yes, ma'am.
And do you know what time are the jurors coming up?
9:30.
9:30?
Yes.
Okay,
Percent be out there.
all right, because I want to make sure they don't come into the courtroom. All right, let me see which page Mr. Santos Rodriguez is on. All right, your client's not present.
No, ma'am, and I haven't been able to ever get a hold of him. I sent him a letter the
Well, do
day.
you want to check in the 227 down the hallway?
I
Because
can. It was the last one on the right, correct?
yes,
Okay.
if you want to
I
check
went that
there
one
to
first,
see,
too.
sure, if you want to check there and see if he's there.
I'll do that.
All right, and is he on a PR bond or regular
He's on
bond?
a PR bond.
Okay,
Because I've written him before. I've called him way back when I was appointed to him, called him this weekend.
Yeah.
And the voicemail, comes back to like a married couple, like a Mike and Valerie Sanchez or
okay.
something
If you
like
want to check down there, then come back and we'll take care of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Julian Juarez.
Yeah. It says it has some stuff I issued yesterday. But kind of deleted it.
Ernesto Rodriguez. Katrina Rios.
Like, I'm assuming it's things. Oh, is it on paper? Oh.
All right, who are the parties on Hentneck? And have you had a chance to confer with the state?
We did, Mr. Escobar's not in here this second.
All right, just give us a moment and then I'll take it up as soon as he comes down. And Mr. Gerhan, this is the blood discovery issue.
Oh, I'll give it to you. Thank you.
Sure, and if you could see where it's located, because they want it, I think they want it for their expert.
Oh, the vials, okay.
Yes. All right, were you able to locate him?
No, ma'am. I went down to that end. That courtroom is locked, called out the name in the hallway. Once, not three times.
Well, you've done your due diligence.
I even called it out on this side too, and
It happens.
it's something that's seems to be going on with a lot of people that were appointed during COVID.
Okay.
So, it just-
All right, is there a prosecutor available?
Sure. Judge.
Thank you. Court is going to call 2022 CR 10959, State of Texas versus Santos Rodriguez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal, state.
Chris Griffith for Mr. Santos, or Mr. Rodriguez.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. and it's now 9:15 a.m. Defense, your client is not present.
No, ma'am. And I've tried writing him previously. I've tried calling him when I was appointed to him here and there throughout. Tried calling him this weekend. The phone number or the voicemail does not say Santos Rodriguez anymore. It seems to be a married couple.
Okay, and of course, the courtroom has changed locations. Did you check in the other courtroom?
Yes, ma'am. I checked the old courtroom. The door's locked. Called up Mr. Rodriguez's name at both ends of the building. No response.
And did you also, I believe off the record, you stated that you had also written a letter?
Yes, ma'am. I wrote him right after I was appointed to him and then called him about. Yeah, I wrote him the day after I was appointed to him, then called him 7/1/20, left message, no response ever, then called him here and there. And then called him most recently, I believe it was either Saturday or Sunday.
All right, so he is on a PR bond, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Deputy Laura, did you announce for Mr. Rodriguez?
I haven't gotten out there.
Yes, please.
Here's mine, Your Honor.
All right, state.
I just want to say we'll do it for a bond forfeiture and won't be issued the advance arrest.
All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant and remand your client without bond. If you make contact with your client or your client presents himself, the court will reconsider.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Leave my phone number with you in case he does show up, because I've got sittings out in Kendall County.
Thank you, Diana. It is going well.
No,
Yes, it does.
it's my office, even my cell. It's area code 361 676 5637.
Mhm.
So I don't think he will, but.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Right. And for the parties on Robert Hintyak, as soon as they are able to locate where the blood vials are, then I can address your issue.
And Judge, you can approve again.
All right. Hello, good morning.
So Judge, my understanding is that SAPD in the property room has the blood. My understanding is that they'd go there, show the motion, and that would be when the vote be released to them.
Okay, so it's the SAPD property room has the blood vials?
Yes, I only know that just because I've had an officer go get it for a trial and he was able to get it through there.
Okay, so where's your client?
Easier.
All right, if you can bring him up and if I could have the motion back, the motion for continuance back. I believe I gave it to Mr. Gahan. Okay. So we are going to go on the record on your motion for continuance. Court is calling 2021 CR 8189 State of Texas versus Robert Dale Hintyak. Could our parties announce for the record for the state,
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Jonathan O'Hara from Mr. Hentnick.
And are you Mr. Hintyak?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your attorneys have filed a motion for continuance. Are you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objections to their motion for continuance?
No, ma'am.
State, do you have any objections to the motion for continuance?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so defense, you want to explain to the court the motion for continuance?
Sure, Your Honor. The two primary bases in there, Judge, both relate to the blood. One is the basic materials that are usually in the standing order. We filed an order like that asking for the litigation packet. My understanding is the state has, I think, sent that to DPS. So I imagine it wouldn't take too long, but I know that the blood discovery packet isn't back yet, so we don't have it and haven't had a chance to review it. And then additionally, the additional testing that the court generously appropriated funds for several months ago, when we got on the case, we realized it hadn't actually been sent to the person. So we quickly found somebody and got an order to have it sent. But I think as of right now, I think it's still with SAPD because I guess there's some confusion between us and the state as to, okay, how do they now get it? I thought it was SAPD bringing it, but it could be our person picking it up if they're approved, they let them do that. They did tell us that it really doesn't take long at their little independent lab and it's local as far as the testing goes, but we have to get it to them. So it's based on both those kind of blood bases that we really think we need to do a good job in this, felony DWI. And for those reasons, we're asking for the continuance, Judge.
So is the only outstanding discovery, is this blood?
Yes, that just really the.
And if I may, it's also my understanding that they're asking for the blood discovery packet. I've already sent out their motion that was signed by Judge Moore out to DPS. I know it's not the standard blood discovery order that we use in county. So I don't know if they'll accept it, but I have at least sent it out. That usually takes 60 to 90 days once it gets sent to them. Again, just because of the backlog with all the other DWI cases.
Okay, so when was the blood packet sent to them, discovery order?
We filed the discovery order in December, like December 20th, I think.
Okay,
And I
So,
believe it was signed December 23rd, and then I got notice of it last Monday, and then that's when I sent it out on January 4th.
all right. So with regards to the blood vials that you want, who does he need to get in contact with to make sure they know whether or not their expert?
Or SAPD's expert.
Yes,
I believe it'd be someone at the SAPD property room. You should be able to call in there. I know there is a specific department that you call in regards to blood because it is kept in a secure area that's separate from the other evidence.
and are they going to actually release? I guess you all will have to find out if they're going to actually release it to your expert, or if your expert has to come to them, or they have to go with the blood with your expert.
May I speak, Karen?
Yes,
I know that the lab that we requested has also done work for SAPD, so they should have some kind of relationship.
okay, all right. And do you have the number to the property room for them that you could give them?
And no, Judge, but I can look it up right now.
Okay, awesome. There being no objection, I'm going to grant your motion for continuance. And I'm going to recall this case so we can get an update on the discovery, because this case is old by 187 standards. So we're going to bring this back on February 21st. And we're going to bring it back on February 21st to see where we are.
Yes, Your Honor.
thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
That'd be at 9 o'clock, Karen?
Yes, 9 a.m. And do not leave until the clerk gives you your setting. Yes,
And if I may, and thank you very much, Judge, I do know that just while we're here, and I understand, obviously it's up.
see, that's what happens. Somebody asked for something else.
I know, I don't want to seem that way.
No, I'm just
The court-
joking.
The court did, last time we were here, the court did order Mr. Hentnick to put an ankle monitor on, which he has on. It was because he missed court before that. Mr. Hentnick wants to know if by any chance the court is satisfied that he's here and involved and will always be here.
All right, you'll need to confer with the state on that.
Sure.
And then if the state disagrees, we can have a hearing on it.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And do not leave until you get your reset form.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. That's going to be for discovery. Who's here on Christopher Garza?
Robert Ariano, Judge.
Yes. Have you conferred?
Yes, Judge.
Where's your client?
He's in jail, Judge.
You haven't conferred with your client?
I conferred with him yesterday, Judge.
No, he needs to be brought out if he's here.
Okay. I'll
Yes.
ask for him to be brought out.
Mhm.
My apologies, Judge.
No problem.
The one that I just.
No.
From there.
They're all-
Oh, I probably.
Sure. Yes. Yes. All right, everyone, just give me a moment. I'm going to take a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
Come back and then I can ask her to bring Chris.
I'm sure we did, yeah. That was bad. Sorry. I was like, I'm interested to see who the affidavit was, because it's still being written about. Look, my trial. It was contrary. Sometimes that was some help.
You just sent it to
Yeah,
me.
that's-
That's okay. Yeah, it was just, okay, well, now it's involved. Okay, I'm just not gonna take it and do something. Okay, okay. Yeah. Thank you. No, it's here now.
We'll bring this on.
I just wanted to let our report know that we were here. There's no
Sorry
matters
about that.
in, so there's not much we can do.
Let's go start talking.
You're the.
Yes, I'm in charge. We're looking at this.
Yeah, it's just a regular pre-hearing, so if you want to explain, we don't do pre-hearings. Just wait for indictment.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Are you for?
Yes.
Okay, if you want to have them sign and then take your copies. Were you ready? Anthony?
Hi, I'm here on Philip Diller. And the file's not down here. I don't know, 5 other courts to go to.
Is he on? that?
Yes, in the front row.
Oh, the chicken?
I can.
Did you confirm the date?
I did, and they said, we don't have the file, sorry.
And, you know, because they have those, like that, what he read. I don't know how to traffic is. Everybody else.
Or y'all get here at 8, right? So that y'all can leave that disaster.
Oh, you're Chester, yeah.
Well, it took me an hour to get to work. I was like,
Oh, my God.
and I mean, it's like the busiest day of the year so far. At a 186 that they canceled the docket. 6 kids,
I do like.
13, 15, 4, and then bond hearing 113. Oh yeah, county court 9. Anyway,
All right. All right, thank you. Everyone, please be seated. Deputy Laura, can you tell Deputy Lee that we're going to sit down about as soon as possible, please?
Did you guys? Yeah.
All right, thank you.
John Perez showing up. John?
He rose from the dead. Well, from my view.
Just, no, for him to talk to his attorney.
To your right, to your right.
All right, who's here on Philip Diller?
Yes, Judge.
Good morning.
I'm on this side, okay.
Sure.
All right. Yes.
All right, so we're here for jury trial.
Okay,
All right.
today.
Mhm.
We're number one, or we're on the,
Everybody's number one,
everybody's number one.
because I like
that.
everyone to feel
I like that.
wanted.
Except for TCU, they're not.
See, that is wrong.
Just
Oh,
saying.
yeah.
Even though I am an SCC person, they got there. Other people wish they had been there. They were not there. And maybe they were having an off game, but
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, but you know what? They did their best, and that's all you can ask for. All right, have you conferred with the state? Because there's a new prosecutor
I
here.
did, they didn't bring the file down.
Yeah, we just got the file brought down.
Oh,
Okay, so yes, so confirm.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. I was ready for the recording.
Yes. Okay, all right, thank you. Hi. Could I see you in the back, please?
So.
Never happened, right?
Yes, you guys are here for someone?
Garland, I think he put the file there.
All right, and what is happening with Mr. Garland? It's for the motion for continuance.
Yeah, Jim Cobb from City of San Antonio is here. He did bring the documents. I think I'll just go get him. Sitting in front, he can't hear.
Okay, sure. So if you'll, are you on Garland?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you'll go with him, they have documents.
I believe they wanted to approach you on something.
They want me to do an in-camera inspection.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hello,
Judge,
hi.
I'm supposed to.
Yeah, that's the line, unless you have some documents to give to me.
I do. We received a subpoena from the state for internal affairs records.
Yes,
I prepared them to hand them to you for in-camera inspection. I will tell you, of course, you make the decision. My personal opinion is if it relates to what he's indicted for, it's hard to find that it wouldn't be exculpatory, because if a witness gives two different statements, there's going to be differences, whether it's material or not. But anyway, it's for you to make your determination.
Okay.
I would ask, anything you release, well, if you release the state, there's no release for the defense anyway.
Okay.
Anything else you need from me?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. And where's Mr. Garland?
Mr. Garland.
All right, have him come forward.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Let me find you on the docket. All right, how do you pronounce your last name?
Garley?
Garley.
Yes.
All right. All right, everyone, if you could whisper, please. All right, so on Mr. Garley, the state has filed a motion for continuance, the defense has filed a motion for continuance. And the court has just been given some discs, a lot of discs for me to review, to make the decision on whether or not it should be discoverable. So this is what I'm going to do. In this court, I really don't charge people with continuances. It's not automatic. If I give you a continuance, then you can't ask for another one. I know sometime in misdemeanor court, it's everybody gets one continuance for whatever reason, but I don't do that here in this court. So what I'm going to do, because this is new information that you've been requesting, it wasn't technically in the state's purview because it's coming from a different agency, coming from the city, and they're in charge of whether or not they give these to the state unless the state were to subpoena them. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to charge either one of you with a continuance. I'm going to recall this, and I'm going to recall it for next week, because I'm going to take my time and look over this week, and I'll have a decision on whether or not you're entitled to it at that time.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, can we recall Mr. Garley? And we're going to recall this for let's recall it for the 20th. All right.
Yes, sir.
So we'll come back on the 20th, and at that time, I'll have my decision for you.
Yes, Judge.
Is there it?
For discovery, Judge?
Yes. Are there any other issues of discovery other than this?
From my knowledge, no, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, we'll give you your reset form. And Mr. Garley, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you at work on Friday?
I'll check my schedule.
All right. If you're at work on Friday, if you want to appear by Zoom, you can appear by Zoom, and Ms. Ferguson will give you that information. Steve, do you have any objections to him appearing by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You're welcome. Ms. Ferguson will give you the reset form.
Just
All right. Who's here on Christopher Garza?
For the defense judge.
Hello.
Oh, Judge.
All right. He needs to be in the center. All right. This is scheduled for trial.
Yes, Judge. Judge, we picked a jury yesterday in the 290th.
All right. Well, your counsel is in jury trial, so he can't be in two places at the same time. So, Ms. Ferguson, this needs to be set for jury. And is it family violence the week of the 23rd or no?
Yes.
All right, so are we able to set this January 24th?
They would have to come back on the 23rd. Is that a Monday?
Yes.
Yes, it would be the 23rd.
All right, so we're gonna bring you back on the 23rd for your jury trial,
And they need to go to.
and it will be in impact court. And counsel, I do have the discovery acknowledgement. You have all the discovery, correct? I mean, it's been signed.
Was signed
Yes,
by me? 100%.
sure.
It's not my signature. This is Corrales' signature. Through my own investigation, when discovery was initially provided, I made a discovery request and extra discovery was provided. I can't say that I have every single piece of evidence because as I keep on investigating the case, there might be something else that comes up. So I can't say that I have every bit of discovery.
I mean, you are gonna have to sign a discovery acknowledgement.
Correct, Judge.
Yes.
Yes, but I can't say that we're good to go and everything's fine because I haven't provided extra discovery since taking over the case.
All right, so this is going to jury trial on the 23rd. Mr. Garza, if you wish to be addressed in any type of different attire, you need to do a clothing exchange with your attorney.
Yes,
If there's an issue with the closing exchange, let the court know. There is an issue?
yes.
What is the issue? Oh, you can step back.
Oh. Very good.
Your Honor, my wife brought me clothes, or has clothes for me to wear. And the jail would not accept them. So they said that my lawyer needs to bring them himself.
It has to be documented by the attorney, has to be like a letterhead.
Oh, so he just needs to do a letterhead saying that his wife has permission to exchange the clothing? All right, so you'll have to do a letter and get it to his wife saying that she has permission to exchange out his clothes.
For the judge.
And just make sure you sign the clothing exchange. If there's an issue with that, you need to let us know ASAP, because otherwise he's going to be in trial in a t-shirt and chinos.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Have you excused, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Melvin Jones. Hello.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. So what's happening with this case?
Judge, we've all conferred and I think we all have a non-meeting of the minds. We all disagree on our positions. The state's position is that an offer was conveyed with a set deadline that a plea needed to be accepted. And that plea was not accepted. From the state's understanding is that the defendant is saying he didn't reject that offer, he just wanted a different offer. The state's position is, since he wanted a different offer, which was lower than the state's offer, the state views that as, well, the offer was rejected then, because the state wasn't willing to go lower than that offer. It wasn't accepted, the bargaining time ended, and so here we are. And the state has made a new offer, conveyed that offer to defense, and that's where we are.
Judge, and it's our position that he never returned the offer. The state, when we were in there, the judge gave us the 24th of January, which is trial date, and at that time, we could either accept it or reject it. If we reject it, we would start trial. However, Ms. Harrington said that she personally wanted an answer by January the 4th, whether he accepted the offer or did not accept the offer. Mr. Jones and I talked to him, asked him about the offer. He never rejected the offer. The exact quote was, "I am not rejecting the offer, I'm rejecting you." I contacted Ms. Harrington via text message and said that he is not rejecting the offer, that he's rejecting me. She texted back saying that, oh, so he is rejecting the offer. And I said, no, he is not rejecting the offer, he is rejecting me. Therefore, we had Mr. Jones brought over yesterday to formally either accept or reject that offer on the record. Having said that, Your Honor, Mr. Jones did, in all candor, ask if we could ask for a lesser time. I've already asked for that last time. That was said no to, but as the court knows, even on a trial date, we still confer.
Well,
So
what I can tell you all is one. I mean, if there is a written contract, then I can look at the written contract. But as far as me going behind plea negotiations, I really can't. What I can tell you all is that in the court's file, I set plea deadline dates. And the plea deadline date for this case was January 24th. So that's where we are. That's the court's plea deadline date. And I put January 24th as jury trial and plea deadline date. And the reason why I do that, so there's no confusion when people are saying, well, this is the deadline for my offer, unless people come to me and say, okay, Judge, we worked out a potential plea agreement. And even though your deadline is January 24th, we're only giving them to this time. Because if that was the case, and if it would have been presented to the court, I would have put in my file, no, your plea deadline date is not January 24th. It's whatever you all say.
And that was judge presented to the court. It was said to the court, we made the court aware that at the time that we were before the court last time, there was a plea deadline date, and even Mr. Porter spoke up that I had set a deadline of January 4th that he would be speaking with Mr. Jones prior to that to find out if he was accepting our offer at that time. And he would be in touch with me because I had actually asked for a time earlier than that. He had asked for a little bit longer to get past the holidays. And I conceded and gave that time. And so he said he would check in and let me know on the 4th if he had accepted our offer. And Mr. Porter did check in with me on the 4th and let me know.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to put it on the record, and everybody can put their understanding on the record, not the actual plea offer, but if people want to put what was discussed as far as deadlines, you're more than welcome to do that. And just give me one moment. All right. Court is going to call 2022 CR 8529, 2021 CR 2489, 2020 CR 11654, 2020 CR 8810. That's a different one. All right, State of Texas versus Melvin Jones. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Stacey Harrington.
for the defense?
Robert Porter.
And are you Mr. Jones?
Yes.
All right. So it's my understanding he has other pending cases, but Ms. Harrington, is your case the one that is the deciding factor in all the other cases?
To a degree, Judge.
All right. And which case is that, Ms. Harrington?
It's the promotion of prostitution.
All right. And so for the record, that is cause number 2020 CR 8810. So there is an issue with regards to plea negotiations. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So as I've said off the record, I don't want to know what the offer was, but there is some issue whether or not an offer was accepted or rejected. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
All right. So states, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. When we were last here on December 19th, I believe it was,
Yes.
the parties conferred. A plea offer was made with a deadline on that offer. The state had asked to hear back on January 4th, whether or not that offer was accepted or rejected. That was agreed to. The parties both approached the bench and said that an offer had been conveyed. We received a setting of January 24th for a trial date plea deadline. And both parties made the court aware that the state had set an earlier plea deadline. And the defense would be speaking with Mr. Jones prior to the new setting date and would let the state know whether or not that offer had been accepted or rejected. It was the state's belief that on January 4th, if the offer had not been accepted, that offer would be considered rejected and that plea offer would no longer be valid and a new offer could be made or the case would proceed to trial.
All right, and so defense, before you give me your rendition, I just have one question. So with regards to the court setting a plea deadline of January 24th, do you agree with Ms. Harrington that a different plea deadline was decided between you both?
Yes, Judge, and everybody's on the same page as that. I'm looking at my notes from December 19th of 2022. Big letters I wrote down. Ms. Harrington, no, plea by January 4th, what his catch would be. So on January 4th, I did go to the jail. I spoke to Mr. Jones. I don't want to get into the renditions of that. It's attorney-client privilege. However, we did discuss the plea bargain. After heated exchanges, Mr. Jones looked me in the eye and said, I am not rejecting the offer. I am rejecting you. So based on that, I texted Mrs. Harrington and I said, he is not rejecting the offer. He is rejecting me. And the response was, so he's rejecting the offer. And I said, no, he is not rejecting the offer. He's rejecting me. Therefore, we came to the court to put that on the record as of yesterday for him to either formally or informally either say yes or no that I'm rejecting this offer and take it away from not it being about me, but about the offer itself. Ms. Harrington was not available yesterday, so he's here today. Now, as far as any kind of, will you ask for a different number or anything like that? That's normal course and practice for us, even on deadline dates. That's everybody's conferring at this point in time. Something may change or may not, but that doesn't mean I did not formally reject the original offer. So it's our position that that offer was never rejected, Judge. And now we're here before the courts this morning for what we do next.
Okay. All right, any response to that, Ms. Harrington?
Yes, Judge. If he wants less time, it's back and forth. He could have asked me for less time that day, and I was told he wants less time that day, right? No, I'm sorry, he doesn't get less time. The back and forth happens, right? It's still, we're not going to go down. He's not going to take my offer. It's still considered rejected, right? And it wasn't taken. Whatever the case may be, it wasn't taken. It's considered rejected. And so the state's position is the offer as it was not taken. It's considered rejected.
And again, things change at that time. Mr. Jones right now has a sickly uncle, and the reason that he was asking me to ask the state about that is because he was seeing, is there a chance that it could be a lesser number of years so that he may be there for his uncle, that he doesn't die on him while he's in prison, if that's going to be the offer. And the attorney's going to do what their client asks. That doesn't sit there and say, if they say no, then we go back and no, they're not. So do you accept the original offer or you don't?
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Ms. Harrington, I understand that you are in a jury trial.
Yes,
You
Judge.
probably need to get back there
I
quickly.
do, Judge. I'm sorry, my phone is blowing
No.
up.
How long do you expect your trial will last?
A week.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to recall this for next week. And the court will make a decision about contracts. Who knew I would be here doing contract work? Thank you, Professor Casterly of St. Mary's University. Although it's an oral contract and not written. So we'll see where this takes us. So I know your mind is probably with your jury trial. So go to your jury trial and we're going to come back next week. So you will not be in trial this week. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you,
Harrington.
Judge.
So Ms. Ferguson. on this case. Next week is a short week. Mr. Porter, when are you available next week?
Judge, as soon as possible, simply because the time deadline with the court also. And I need to be able to represent Mr. Jones to the best of my ability. And
No,
so
no,
I
no.
wanna try-
Here's the thing. I know it's set for jury trial on the 24th. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but I like to do things orderly and one step at a time. So the first thing that I want to do is figure out this
Well, is
plea or not.
are the courts open Monday or not?
No,
Then Tuesday.
because that's a celebration and everything that goes with it.
Well, I
It's a
was-
celebration and a holiday.
Well, I was confused because the court told me to show up on the 16th.
No, 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 no.
So I got back to my office, I was thinking.
No, not on the 16th. Unless you're showing up to march with me.
So the 17th would be fine.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can we bring Mr. Jones back on the 17th? Okay.
She ain't gonna do it for us. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Mr. Jones, in this courtroom, I require that everyone treat everyone with respect and everyone be kind. And so that goes for persons with their attorneys. Because I know that sometimes there may be miscommunications with attorneys, but usually everyone here is pleasant. And sometimes you hear things that you don't want to hear. In the words of Attorney Cornelius Cox, if we could present our own facts, then everything would be great. But sometimes you have to deal with what you have. All right, so is there going to be an issue with Mr. Porter?
Not is not the way it's looking now, no.
Okay,
It was a little slight misunderstanding that caused a little friction, but I mean, it was probably just one of them days for me or him.
all right. And so here's the thing, let me tell you about that. If you don't shout at people, people can hear better.
Yes.
Like, because sometimes if people are shouting at me, you know what I tell them? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Could you speak lower?
Yes.
So just remember that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Porter.
Thank you, Judge. Can I have an excuse?
Yes.
Yeah, Coach, Your Honor.
Yes.
My client didn't show up, maybe excuse.
Oh, no, just give us a moment. I'll call. You need to have them pull the file and I'll call it.
Okay, Carlotta, take over seat. It's good to see you again, Judge.
All right, good to see you
It's a
too.
beautiful day, so.
Oh, yes, it is.
You talked about raincoat. I said, if you need a raincoat, you can borrow my coat. Just I'll throw it in the dry cleaner after you give it back.
Okay.
Have you ever done like that with a coat? Or I'll give you my umbrella if you want.
2802.
All right, Tovar, Saragossa, are they in, he's in downstairs? Ms. Ferguson, when are we bringing this back? Let's bring it back in 14 days or 16 days.
I'm trying to see how many inmates I have. The 14th day. I can do the 26th.
All right, Deputy Laura, can you let him know his attorney is ill and we'll bring him back on the 26th? Okay, thank you.
Oh, no. We have a one.
Yes. All right, I'm going to take up Carlotta Garcia and then it will be Philip Diller. All right, party here on Carlotta Garcia. We're on the record. Court is going to call 2022 CR 7774, State of Texas versus Carlotta Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Garahan for the state, Your Honor.
for the defense?
She is not here, Your Honor, so.
Yeah, I need you to announce your name on the record, please.
Oh, Joel G. Richardson.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:01 a.m. Defense, have you had contact with your client?
I don't believe I have, Judge. I have a pretty good memory. I don't remember her ever calling me.
Well, have you reached out to call her?
I'm sure I did.
I'm sorry, clerk, is she on a PR bond?
I'll continue to do that this afternoon, Judge.
It's 2022 CR 7774.
Yes, she is.
Okay. Deputy Laura. Did you make an announcement for Miss Carlotta Garcia?
Yes, I did, Your Honor, and she did not answer the holler.
All right, state.
State's requesting a remand of
All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant and remand your client without bond. If you're able to get in touch with your client and she presents herself, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge. I'm sure I'll do that. I'll continue to try to get a hold of her.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, the party's on Diller. And then after Diller, it'll be Hundeth. All right, so you've conferred with the new prosecutor?
Yes, Judge, we have.
And I'm going to give you your jury trial date and your plea deadline date at the same time.
Okay.
The court does have the acknowledgement of discovery in the file.
There's
Is
been new
There is
discovery
new discovery.
all right. What is the new discovery?
discs.
The victim was out in Amarillo and gave a new forensic interview.
Okay. Do you have access to that?
Yes, it's it's been disclosed for about a month now, but I don't believe defense counsel has had time to review it.
I remember getting notice of disclosure, but I'm not gonna argue with
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
I'm
So-
remembering December 5th right now.
So how long are you all anticipating this trial?
Just a week.
Are there videos? And how long are they?
I don't believe nothing that
Is
we
it
have
un-
seen.
Okay. Is it under 6 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date. They say a week, I believe 3 days.
I think 3 days is probably.
Including jury selection.
Yes,
Okay, all right. We'll get it.
and it's doable. All right, we'll see you on Valentine's Day. Just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you.
All right. And if you all can make sure that new discovery acknowledgement is signed
Yes.
when you have that.
Certainly, Judge. Thank you.
So that will be also be your plea deadline date because of the new discovery.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's already done. I'll just have that up front.
And Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
the attorneys need to be here because they're up for trial.
Yes, ma'am.
And what date are we bringing Nicholas Cundiff back?
He's actually in trial in the impact court, Judge.
Yes, I have the notes. So what date are we bringing it back?
I can bring it back on the 19th.
Judge, sorry, can I approach on that one?
Yes.
My witness is not, my victim is not being very cooperative on that case, so I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss those cases. I know he's incarcerated, so I will take care of it today. I'll give you dismissals.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Not gonna wait on 15 minutes.
Oh, I appreciate that. And I'm sure Mr. Cundiff does too.
I've been incarcerated since this happened, so.
Yeah,
um, Yeah.
yes, thank
Especially
you.
with this attorney not being here.
Yes. All right, can you let Mr. Cundiff know his cases have been dismissed?
We're gonna be dismissed from this.
Yes.
Munoz, I have her here. She is looking ill. I have her tested in process. It's gonna take 15 minutes.
You're so awesome.
And I don't want to bring her in until I'm sure.
Okay.
What I would like.
Are you wearing
I've
your
got a-
mask?
I've already conferred. I have an offer for probation. But what I want to do is reset for 2 weeks to make sure she's well when she does this.
Okay, and what's your client's name?
Karen Munoz.
All right, could I see the file on Karen Munoz?
I just wanted to be here to corroborate what I said.
It's up to the judge. I mean,
You don't have to use, please. Right here.
Oh, you can bring him out since you all brought him. All right, State, do you have any objections to resetting? Miss Munoz defense is telling me they're accepting the offer, but she's in the hallway ill.
oh, you're accepting the offer?
I expect to, but I haven't talked to her about the offer. I just wanted to make
Oh.
sure we had it said straight.
All right, if
out.
you want to talk to her and if you want to, we can do it by Zoom. Look, I'm always, no, but I love Zoom.
And Judge, if they do accept it, I mean, a small reset, because I believe it was today only offer.
Oh, so she needs to do it today.
That's why I
So-
wanted him to stay here.
Okay, so yeah, just have her Zoom on. She knows how to do it. She has a phone. Or either you know what you can do. Oh, nobody's distraught. Come on. But my mom loves me.
And I love you, but you're still very.
I was one of the assistants.
Okay. But so talk to her and see what she wants to do.
I will.
Mr. Conda, I see somebody didn't dress you appropriately for trial. But I don't know if you wanted to go to trial in a t-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, well, your cases have been dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So here's the thing, your cases were dismissed. I don't know anything about the facts of your case, but I do know that sometimes when people get their cases dismissed or when people are placed on probation or they're released from the jail, they're so excited. And you know what they say? I will never be back. I'm never going to do this again. Nothing's going to happen. And then they forget about being housed in a 4x4 and then they go back to their old ways. So remember this day. Remember the time you spent at the Bexar County Jail where they were giving you bologna sandwiches? And if you don't want to be back at somebody's jail or prison, we got to do better, make better decisions, okay?
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you all in here. Thank you. Good luck. See you in the hall.
All right, who's here on Katrina Rios? Yes, where is she? Oh, we stand behind the line.
Very good, thank you. Your
Yes.
Honor. Vincent Dave Lawson on behalf of Katrina Rios. Ms. Rios is presently in federal custody. I called your court coordinator last week to see if we could set up a hearing this morning and contact with Ms. Rios. But I haven't heard back from her.
Have you talked to the state?
I have. I'd like to set a hearing on the motion to refer possibly for next week, Your Honor. And
Well, you know, it's a state jail felony. You guys can do it in absentia.
I would love to do that if possible.
Yes, but what he'll need to do is he needs to get it to his client, have his client sign it, that's okay to do.
Yes, sir.
And then you know, make sure she has a copy of the motion to revoke
Very good.
and how she wishes to plead to it.
Very good. Let me see if I can have any contact with her is scanty. She's in federal, at federal halfway house. And so I'm gonna do my best to.
All right, and have you given them information that she's in a halfway house?
Yes, sir. Have you on.
All right, can I have parties approach? Can you do this, please? If you can come forward. And I'm sorry, mute us again, please.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
He's got full hold, say that. He's got full hold, yeah. Yeah. So now I noticed that the ID of this is the state jail form. And there's official one that's I don't know that. State jail form that this one here is a third. This one here. Yeah, this is serious. Now, what's all about this?
All right, and Norma, can you have Mr. Ray Martinez come, please?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Mr. Martinez is on his way. I'm appearing on his behalf for now.
All right, so you guys are up for trial.
On David.
Ramirez.
Oh, we've conferred with the state. We have an officer we need to relay the.
Okay, where's he?
I believe he's in custody.
All right, just ask him to bring them out. Joseph Ramirez.
Joseph Rodriguez. Okay.
And now you've got a video, one of those where it shows the back of the car, and you see the system, there's no sound on. There's no sound. And then there's nothing when you get to the station that's getting out, finding the bag, any of that stuff. You know, I just want to make sure that. That's it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's. But, I mean, that's really, he said. Almost no way to people. Now. How about we do this? I don't think he'll take.
Yes.
I think he's gonna face. Let's see,
Let's see where we are at 10:30, and then what we'll do is we'll release them and let them have their lunch. But let's see where we are at 10:30.
See, on either one. You want to take it on the ID on the phone? I mean, I can take 6 and 2. That's nothing. Thank you.
Okay.
Robert King, like on the 14th page or missed it.
I'll call him.
Yeah, because the one attorney came in, worked in.
Does it say?
She what?
Does it say?
Well, I don't know, the young girl.
Oh.
She said she can't do felony plea yet, but she was gonna send somebody else.
Let me call Joseph.
Okay, just like. It's just. I don't know. I start printing out stuff and I don't know. Or is that something else? Well, I don't know, maybe I just read it wrong, maybe. For this again. Yeah, I think I got it.
Yes. Thank you.
I think I just found out how to open up those files.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Oh, okay. It might be Calvin. Yeah, I think it's a.
Okay,
I mean, you took it off at some point.
okay, so it's a different day.
Yeah. That's it.
I'll have it again.
That Castella's came here?
Yes, she was here.
Yeah. What about Matthew Brown? He come in already?
No.
No.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. You have to show up. There you go. Oh, we, you just have to take it up with the juror. You can put it on. This is one of my lines. I know so. I went home. She'll call you up again. You can put it on the record. You don't have to come down. Yes.
Was in court. Behind the, building.
Okay,
Anyway.
all right,
she's like,
okay, thank you.
Has,
Oh,
We don't have any indication that she is, so, I mean, we have not been notified.
we do, yeah. That's what I will.
all right, thanks. All right, who's here on Joseph Solis? Sure. She needs to make a phone call. Okay, okay,
We just want to try the defendant one more time, Judge.
okay. All right, and do you have, can you have, admin send down me a drive player for this?
Oh, I have one.
All right, thank you.
One.
Yay.
Oh, I think I said that.
They're gonna come and take it. I can't believe they would give us computers and it doesn't have that. Not everybody has everything on the thumb drive.
I just.
Sure. Thank you. I'm glad we still have it. Now we'll see if I have a port left to put in. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. There's so much plugged into this.
I can read my computer. Yes. I haven't seen it. It's in my phone.
All right, just give us a moment for the court reporter to come back. Have you had contact with your client or no?
Last year.
Is he on a PR bond or commercial bond? Okay, all right, just give us a moment. Once the court reporter comes, we'll put it on the record. And Norma, I am gonna need your computer. Oh. Because this is all filled. I don't have an outlet for it.
Okay.
Judge,
All right, thank you. Yes.
on the ones where they fail to show and you ask the state, how would you like me to address it? Just like if you ask for the bond to be,
Oh, usually if it's a PR bond, then I just issue a judge's warrant.
okay,
And usually if it's a commercial,
bond.
I do a bond forfeiture.
Okay, so we just ask for a bond forfeiture. Is that
Sure.
okay? I just want to phrase it right.
I still, yeah, no problem, because I still just make the call.
Okay, yeah, of course. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Thank you.
Richard Garcia.
Judge Stephanie Lloyd.
Hello.
How are you?
Great. We're just waiting for the court reporter to come back, but did you see what they're doing, jumping into the Antarctic? But I think you've already done that, haven't you?
Polar plunge.
Yes, you did the
I did
polar
it
plunge.
so many times. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the pictures last night because, do you remember Kelly Fitzgerald?
Yes, hey, I'll move over. So, oh no, I can't see you.
Kelly Fitzgerald is in Antarctica right now, but she's doing like a 10-star luxury king size bed. And so there she was talking about the polar plunge, and I went to my pictures. So when I did the polar plunge, I wasn't paying attention, and there was an iceberg about this big in front of me that I didn't see, and I jumped in, and I hit my head, and it gashed, and I was bleeding everywhere. And instead of helping me, they were yelling and screaming at me because I was polluting the water.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm bleeding and there's blood everywhere.
All right. Deputy Laura, Deputy Laura, Deputy Laura. So Richard Garcia goes to the Antarctic, does the polar plunge, injures his head on an iceberg. He's bleeding and everybody's shouting at him because he's polluting the area.
And the doctor it's her birthday and I really think I need stitches. And she's having martinis on the boat. And so they're like, they put a piece of snow or ice on my head with a towel and it dries up. But I've got this big clump of like red thing.
Yeah.
And so when I go take a shower, it's like.
Well, they say head wounds always,
So,
bleed back.
so the note to self is never jump in an ocean without looking.
Yeah, and you said that's the trip where you lost your phone?
So I went to the Ukrainian station, Penguin Station, and it's the only place they have a bar in Antarctica, and they make vodka, and they give you vodka as a welcome gift.
Mhm.
And if you're a girl and you take off your bra and give it to them, they'll give you a whole bottle. So one of the girls gave them her bra and she got a whole bottle of vodka. So I proceeded to drink a bit too much, put my phone in the back pocket, got in the dinghy and it fell in the water.
But I still have your pictures, so they're great. What's your next travel?
That's where I
plan?
sent the postcards.
Yes, and my mom got her
I
postcard.
never got mine.
My mom
Teresa got
appreciates
hers.
your travels.
Everybody got theirs except for me. Weird. So
What's your next place to travel?
I'm going to Egypt on Saturday.
Oh, okay, you have to
Friday.
send postcards and photos for Egypt, and you have my mom's address.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be so great.
Yeah.
Let me know how the cruise on the Nile is if you do that, because I want to do that.
I've done it before, but I did a big, huge, it was a Sheraton, 5-story with a swimming pool, big lobby, 300 people. And so this time we're going to be like 40 people on a tiny little boat.
Okay,
Real-
you know what, Richard, you and I should set that up and we should do a murder mystery cruise on the Nile. And have somebody be Hercule Poirot.
Did you see the Death on the Nile, the new one?
Yes,
Okay, that boat that's a little bit bigger, but it's like that boat.
but can I just tell you, I prefer the older versions, but,
Well, that's why I want to do this trip.
all right, well, you'll have to let me know, because I'm thinking
And I've got
about
all
it.
my friends from Mexico going.
All right, and let me know how security is.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Well, Linda Moyer
yes,
just got back.
yes, her pictures were fabulous.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's on my list. I have so many things on my list, although I'm not living in the jungle like you did, but.
And Arnulfo Ortiz and Melissa went for the world championship, the soccer.
Mhm.
And so he gave me the name of his tour guide.
Mhm.
And Jaime Aldape just went and gave me the name of his tour guide. So,
Richard, when I go, I'm gonna get a group together. We're gonna pay you to be the tour guide.
but I want to go and do the 1,000 candles.
Okay, you need to get with me and Laura, because we need to do that. If that's the last thing I do on this planet, I will do the 1,000 candles.
I'm sad that it was the day after I got there.
All right, I'm gonna put you in charge of looking that up and telling us when to go, and we're just gonna show up.
We should do it this summer.
Okay.
Because so I just had a reunion with my Antarctica group on Sunday from all over the world. We were like 30 on Zoom from every time zone. And they decided to meet on March 29th in Amsterdam. But most of them are from that area. And I can't go because I bought this place in Mexico City and my furniture is being delivered. And so I told them we need to redo in the summer. So I want to go in the summer. So maybe we
Make
can
sure it's
go and
open.
do like a combo.
All right, make sure it's open.
The 1,000, it's open in the summer.
All right, I will be there.
It's in July.
Okay, all right, thanks.
And maybe do the running of the Bulls games.
I'm not running with the Bulls, but okay, yes. All right, are the parties here and Joseph Solis? All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 10890, State of Texas versus Joseph Solis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Valentina Pablo for Mr. Solis.
Sorry, that was for defense judge, Jason Garahan for the state, Your Honor. I confused the defense on that. Sorry about
That's
that.
okay. Sometimes I will look at the defense and I'll be like, state. All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:31 a.m. Defense, your client has not made an appearance. Do you know where your client is?
No, Your Honor, I do not know.
Have you tried to get in touch with your client?
Yes, I took the call to.
All right, so everyone in the box, if you all can be quiet, we're on the record. Yes.
I attempted to call him this morning and the phone number is not acceptable, so this branch.
All right, and Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for Mr. Solis?
Yes, I did, Your Honor, and he did not answer the call.
All right, state.
Just think you asking for a bond, but Your Honor.
All right, I will issue a judge's warrant. And I'll remand your client without bond. If you're able to get in touch with your client and he presents himself, then the court will reconsider.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, when are we recalling Schumacher for?
Friday.
All right, Deputy Laura, can you let Mr. Schumacher know that his attorney is in trial and we'll bring it back on Friday? Deputy Laura, if you can have Mr. Schumacher, let him know that his case is being recalled for January 13th. His attorney's in jury trial. All right, and Ms. Ferguson on Lewis, when are we bringing that back?
It's Mr. Smith as well, Judge. He said Friday. We
Okay.
have both of his time here on Friday.
All right, and Deputy Laura, if you can let Mr. Lewis know.
He's on.
Yeah.
Bashan,
Yes, Your Honor.
Lewis is reset for January 13th, and so is Schumacher or Shoemaker.
Yes, Your
Norman, did you sign into your computer?
Yes, I did. I should have.
Yeah.
No, there's no.
Everyone, the court is taking its break at noon, and those cases that are not worked out, you will be coming back at 1 for jury trial.
There's no.
How are you?
I'm here on Crystal.
Garcia, Crystal?
Jason.
Essentially. I may approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, I'm here on Crystal Garcia. This is a theft enhanced. This is the first trial setting.
Oh, you need a file. And have you conferred with the state?
I talked to Jason just briefly on it.
Have you conferred with your client?
I talked to her briefly as well too, Your Honor. But I wanted to discuss with the court discovery problems.
Okay. All right, you need to have the court present the file.
That's all okay.
So
File great.
all right there, okay.
All right, I'll get you, I'll call you up.
I don't think he laughed. When did she get the offense? Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the court.
All right, Crystal Garcia.
Ms. Garcia? Right? There.
All right, Miss Garcia, why were you late for court?
Oh, it was traffic. There was an accident right on 35 and
All right, so here's the thing. I'm always on time.
Yes, sorry about that.
So you gotta make sure that you plan for maybe there's gonna be an accident, maybe there's gonna be this.
I'm not used to traveling at this hour of the morning, so my mom wasn't prepared for it either.
Well, I mean, how old are you?
Apologize.
How old are you?
Oh,
How old are you?
38.
What do you mean your mom wasn't prepared for it either?
My mom drove me over here. I don't have a vehicle of my own. I live with my mother.
All right, so that's what the VIA bus is for.
Oh, I live in Converse. There's only one bus. It literally is an hour walk to the bus from my house. So
I mean, these are plans you have to make, okay? Don't,
that's what my mom. That's my mom. Sorry.
don't be late again, okay? All right, so what is happening with this case?
Judge, I went on e-discovery yesterday. And this is the message I received from the DAs, if I may.
Sure.
I talked to the state. They said there's no discovery available. Okay.
All right, so have you talked to them about this?
I talked to Jason and they actually do have this. And it is voluminous.
So are you making a copy of that? How are you getting that?
I think I'm going to have him. Whoops, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I think I'm going to have him check e-discovery and get it on e-discovery.
So, Mr. Salinas, I know this is not your case, but he received a message that documents were not available on e-discovery, but there are documents in the file. Is what's uploaded on the system going to be different than what's in the file?
Sometimes someone may accidentally forget to click discoverable, and so he may not be able to access it, but I could quickly do that. I could check.
Okay, all right, if you could.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where we are.
Yes, this is a theft enhanced case.
Okay.
So.
All right, I just want to see if it's discoverable before I give you a date.
What's that?
I want to see if it's discoverable before I give you a date.
Okay.
Because otherwise we'll be back here with the same issue.
Right.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Oh, no, you can have a seat.
Let me approach the president. Madam Mayor, approach when you have time.
Is there a file associated with this case?
There is, Your Honor. 2022 CR 6496.
Where's Mr. Parker?
Right here in the first row.
All right, why was he late?
He shouldn't be late. You told him never be late again. You late? Were you late? Okay. I remember he was late the first time and we had a big talk.
No, he was late. I called his name. He didn't answer.
Cause I was over there with the 187 and then they barely called when they talk about something over here.
Okay. All right, what is happening with this case? Because it's set for trial.
Yes, Your Honor. We are here, pit setting. We're ready. I'm just inquiring as to the court's procedure. I have
Oh, we're gonna come back at 1.
I have 1 o'clock in Kendall County.
All right, we're gonna be here at 1 for jury selection.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks.
you're welcome.
Yeah, just leave the file. Thank you.
Who's here on John Perez? John Perez? Who's the attorney on John Perez? Oh, hi, Miss Bill. All right.
In the right place.
Yes, you are. Is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, everyone, we're gonna go on the record. So I'm gonna need everyone to please whisper. And if you are in the box, I'm going to need you to not speak. Court is calling 2022 CR 7826A, State of Texas versus John Ray Perez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
State, Jason Gary.
Defense?
Phyllis Field.
And are you Mr. Perez? Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Perez, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it? Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, I'm going to need you to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on an indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Perez, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with burglary of a building with intent to commit theft? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm gonna need you all not to talk in the box while we're on the record. All right, that's okay. Everyone, in this court, we try to make everybody's job as pleasant and as easy as possible. So that helps the court reporter out. And everyone knows we have a new court reporter. So we're trying to make her enjoy her time here. All right, so let me see where I left off. All right. Did you understand if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Perez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there should be a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution to Michael John McLaughlin, McLaughlin. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
It is, Your Honor. There's one exception. We are going to ask for a PSI in this case, and also we're going to ask for a restitution.
All right. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be 150 hours community service restitution and no contact with Michael John McLaughlin. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Okay.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the plea?
Yes, the state offer state exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments, Your Honor.
No objection.
Mr. Perez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. I'm sorry, just one moment. All right, we're gonna go off the record on a moment. All right, we are back on the record. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, just that this is the first offense, that he has no priors at all. And he has a job, he's doing most things right, and we would like for you to falsely bargain and also allow us to have the restitution.
All right, Mr. Perez, who is Valerie Espinosa to you?
My ex-girlfriend's mother.
All right, and Starlin Rodriguez,
That's my ex-girlfriend.
do you have any children with her?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
I have children.
What are their ages
5 and 4.
and where are they now?
They're with the mother of my children.
Do you see them
Yes. Yeah,
How-
every weekend.
every weekend? Is that according to some court order or that's just some agreement you worked out?
Those are the only days I get off, but I wasn't by court.
All right, and what do you do?
I work for American Greetings,
Doing what?
stocking the greeting cards at Walmart's and Targets.
I remember growing up, we would sell greeting cards during the Christmas holiday, and that's how you made extra money.
Yes.
When you said you were working at American Greetings, I was like, are you writing?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right, so if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
That would be positive.
Okay, what are you going to be positive for?
Marijuana.
And what else?
Marijuana.
All right, because I can have you drug tested today. Here's the thing about the questions that I asked you. I'm asking you because I don't do cookie cutter. I mean, I don't do cookie cutter probation. Everybody doesn't get the same thing. Sometimes people need more than others. And usually with regards to what people will be positive for, usually I'll start you off with outpatient treatment or either intensive outpatient treatment. But if you're dishonest, that's where we have a problem because you all have come up with an agreement for you to be on probation. I want you to be successful at probation if I go along with it. I take no joy in sending people to prison, but I think your attorney in the state will tell you, I will send people to prison, but I take no joy in it. So I want you to be successful at it. I don't want you to come back here because you're being unsuccessful or because I'm not giving you something that you need. So is it just going to be marijuana?
It'll be marijuana and crystal meth.
All right. So how often are you doing crystal meth?
Not much.
What does not much mean?
Every week.
Okay. Let me explain to you, doing meth every week, that's a lot. And I know sometimes when you're in the throes of your addiction, you don't see it as a lot, but it is a lot. Okay.
Since I got this case, I've been trying to quit. So
I don't know, sometimes, I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say they want to give up soda, but it calls your name as you're walking down the aisles at the grocery store. You want to stop eating ice cream and you try to test yourself. You walk past where the candy aisle is and the ice cream and you're thinking, I've made it. But then the ice cream is like, hi, my name is Bluebell. You know, the chocolate is good today. I say this from my own experience.
And mine.
Yes. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow your agreement. I'm going to sentence you to the 2 years deferred adjudication, a $1,500 fine that will be probated. Let me ask you this, when you have the children for the weekend, is there someone else with you?
No.
That's a problem. Are your parents here or somebody who can be with you when you watch the children?
Yeah.
All right, because I'm going to order for now that you not have unsupervised contact. Do you understand why?
What?
Do you understand why I'm saying that?
No.
All right. So you love your 2 children.
Yes.
All right. So let's say you need a babysitter for your children. You talk to Phyllis, you talk to your mom, and your mom tells you, hey, this Stephanie Boyd person, she's a great babysitter. And you check my references. I babysat the president of the United States children. Everybody just loves me. But you're like, I love my children. They're the most precious things to me on this earth. I want to see how she is around my children. So I come over and you watch me with your children. I'm like the Black Mary Poppins. Your children love me. We're singing songs. And you say, oh my gosh, she's so great. And your children is like, please, Daddy. They're looking at you with the eyes, like the Puss in Boots eyes. They're looking at you, Daddy, please let us have Stephanie as a babysitter. And you say, okay, you're hired. And as I'm walking out the door, I say, oh my gosh, I got this job. I love your children. And then I come back, I said, look, I need to be honest with you. I'm going to test positive for marijuana if you drug test me. I use meth, but I don't use it that much. I only use it once a week. Do you still hire me to watch your children?
No.
Why not?
Because they'll be around my children.
See, and that's what you're doing. So that is why. Now I may change it, but for now, you can still have your children for the weekend, but it's going to have to be supervised by your mom or dad. You understand? And once you get clean and sober, probation will tell me and that will be changed. Okay. I'm doing this so that your children are protected, but you can still have some time with them. So that's a goal you can reach. All right. So it's going to be 2 years deferred adjudication, no unsupervised contact with minors, proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs. Field visits 2 times per month until further notice. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation. If the TAP evaluation says outpatient treatment, we're going to start with intensive outpatient treatment. If it says inpatient treatment, we're going to start with intensive outpatient treatment. So I'm giving you a chance. If he ends up testing positive for meth after 2 weeks, then we're going to do a referral to felony drug court. There should be no contact and restitution, if any, to Michael John McLaughlin. And if you want to have, if there's an issue with restitution, you think it's too high, just let probation know. The judge said, I can have a restitution hearing. And they will have that hearing and we'll call Ms. Bill. 150 hours of community service restitution, 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination with a booster. Court is not requiring you to do that, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. I'm going to ask for parenting classes, and we'll do parenting classes with Triple T. And once you complete those parenting classes, which you must, the remaining of your community service hours will be waived. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. You understand? All right, you can go off the record. So, Mr. Perez, they didn't ask for a theft course. I'm gonna give you one. Do not take what doesn't belong to you. Do not go into any place that you're not invited to go into. And if a third person is inviting you to some place and someone asks you to leave, you need to leave. But before you even accept their invitation, make sure that they are able to bring a +1. Okay? All right, good luck to you. Probation will go over conditions. Always nice seeing you, Miss Phil.
Good seeing you, Judge.
All right, have a good one. And Norma, for Dominguez, that's a Spanish speaker, so we need an interpreter. Who's here on James Brooks?
I am, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, Judge. This is the one. This is the one where I'd spoken to you last week about this. Believe he just had a violation report submitted from pretrial. He did have a scheduled court date for today, Judge. He is present.
All right, let's bring him up.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
And have you conferred with the state on this case?
Judge, yes, he's set to be screened for felony mental health court pretrial diversion with Judge Ron Hale for January 20th. He has that screening.
Okay. All right, Mr. Brooks. You need to make sure that you stay in contact with pretrial services. Because otherwise, what ends up happening is I receive these violation reports. You understand? All right, so is there an issue with you being able to contact them? Everyone, please whisper.
No,
Yes. All right, so why are they sending me reports saying they can't get in touch with you?
I tried to call them yesterday. I didn't respond or answer the phone.
So have you had contact with them at all?
I have not.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. I need the pretrial service officer Cynthia Vasquez to zoom in, please. You're gonna get her to zoom in. I'm just gonna have you take a seat. Don't leave the courtroom. And we're gonna get her to zoom in so you all can make contact. And then we'll take up the other matter.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you.
And this is on which case, sir?
This is on James William Brooks. Crystal Garcia.
Yes, Judge. Okay.
Yes.
So I checked on e-discovery, I made sure everything was discoverable. Mr. Zimmerman's gonna go and check that. So- Mr. Zimmerman's gonna go and check that. If he has any issues, he'll email me and I could get that onto a disk.
Okay.
Or some sort of flash drive or something. I gave him an offer with a deadline since it's coming from me of February 20th.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on this case?
Yes, February 7th.
All right. So we'll see you back on February 7th.
Yes,
At
sir.
9 a.m. Ms. Ferguson will give you your reset form.
Yeah, let me know if you can't pull it up. If I can't, do you have a card so I can write down? I'll print out Selena's. Tell you what, Randy give you mine. And then. I'll write them down. You I was gonna write something. Oh, no.
Julian Juarez. So what is happening with this case? Good morning. Good seeing you again.
Likewise. We're here on this case this morning, Judge. Just one discovery issue. To my knowledge, just one discovery issue. It's a copy of the cell phone instruction. This is a large file, so it's unable to be uploaded to the discovery. Council's gonna bring it external drive. Getting a copy of the instruction.
All right, so when are you gonna get him to drive?
I'm hoping by this Friday. It kind of depends on how my other cases go this week, but that's my plan this Friday.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Julian Juarez. I need a regular reset, please, for discovery.
February 7th.
All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. We'll see you back on February 7th.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah, if that's an issue. Then I have to assign an attorney and have a look for one that's a Spanish. So it's very difficult. So if you can, if I can, then I'll sit down if you want.
Who's here? I'm Brian Parker. Brian Parker. All right, everyone, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Yes.
I have Kyle.
I'm looking, I just put in the same question. Triple P. I have triple P.
Oh, well, maybe I'm saying. It's gonna be- But it's the same.
Okay, just wanna make sure.
Okay, thank you. Maybe it's one I've made up myself. Karen Munoz. Okay. All right, we're going on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 6643, State of Texas versus Karen Munoz. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Gearhan, Your Honor.
Defense?
John Young,
And are you Miss Munoz? Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I believe I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Munoz, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Ms. Munoz, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a 3rd degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the state is able to prove the repeat offender enhancement allegation paragraph, then your range of punishment will be anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as the factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe she is and was.
All right, off the record for a moment. With regards to an interpreter, I'm going to take that case up right after this one. Thank you. We're back on the record. Ms. Munoz, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $2,500 fine, no application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision, and there is $57 for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 180 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State offer, state exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Munoz, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments. I'm sorry, with regards to the repeat offender enhancement allegation, how do you plead to that? True or not true? I'm sorry. Did you say true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. The court will find the enhancement allegation true based upon your plea of true and based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
No, Your Honor, we're asking for a 45-day delay on the PSI.
All right, state.
States will defer to the court on the PSI. It is a agreed 5/5, Your Honor.
We told you earlier why we need a
Yes,
little bit more.
I understand that. If you want, we can go forward with sentencing. And then if there is an issue, the court still has jurisdiction.
And I would prefer, Your Honor, if we gave her some flexibility here before we impose sentence.
Okay. All right, we'll reset it for 30 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the information that needs to be turned over, that needs to be done before that 30-day time
Thank you,
period.
Your Honor.
If not, then we will go forward with sentencing. What date?
I can do the 7th.
All right, we're coming back on February 7th at 9 a.m. And Ms. Ferguson will give you the reset form. No PSI. Ms. Munoz, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'm not.
I'm sorry.
I said, no, I'm not doing.
Okay. All right, we'll see you back on February 7th.
Yes, I have to just leave it. But she's not.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Young.
So there's no PSI, right?
No, there's no PSI. She'll just be back on February 7th.
That's fine. Now, you know what, February 7th is the national holiday.
No. Then we will have to make sure we have a celebration here for you. All right, if I could see the interpreter, and then after the interpreter, we're going to take up Mr. Brooks. All right, who's the attorney who needed the interpreter?
That's Ms. Martinez.
Where's Ms. Martinez?
I believe he said he was gonna go to another court.
Is it Ray Martinez?
No,
No, Carlos Martinez. Is that his name?
here he is. All right. If you can have him come, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you can have your client, Mr. Martinez, come up. All right, this is a motion to revoke, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, but I was gonna approach the court to ask for a reset, a short reset. Because the main allegation on the MPR is the new number 1 UWI. And I'm in the process of trying to work that out. It might be worked out in his favor. That's why I did not want to proceed on it.
When is that going to be?
Well,
worked
he
out?
just went to court earlier this week. But now that I know that there's emergency on your MPR, I will push that to see if it's gonna work out in our favor, or if it's not, then I'll just pay them down.
So when is the misdemeanor reset for?
It said like a month out, because we just went to court earlier this week, but I did get all my discovery already. And I'm gonna push it and see if I can, like I said, if for some reason I can get that thing dismissed, then this MTR becomes a lot less of a problem for him. But if it's not, I will be forward with the ADA and let them know, look, we're just gonna plead him and then he can plead true that he just pled out.
So this is not going to be contested?
No, no, Judge. Because either we get a dismissal and then this, maybe this MTR goes away. And if not, if we don't get a dismissal, then I'm gonna plead him and we don't need to have it contested.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
on Ernesto Dominguez, when is his misdemeanor case set? I don't have the misdemeanor cause number, but his SID is 11-36196.
February 10th.
Okay.
County Court 12.
It's 12. Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson.
Yes, sir.
And State, do you have any objections to a reset?
State doesn't have any objection.
All right, so this is what we'll do. We're gonna reset this, and we'll reset it for, Ms. Ferguson, can we put this on February 10th?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna reset this for February 10th. And I'm gonna order that he report weekly until his setting, because I see here there are some issues. I'm not accepting any of it is true, but the allegations are you're drinking alcohol, and that's not allowed on probation. And he's not doing his parenting classes, allegedly.
No, Judge, we had a conversation in my office regarding the drinking. And unfortunately, his response was, you know, no one ever told me that I wasn't supposed to. do
Oh, I tell everybody that.
it. So I said, maybe you misunderstood. It's a condition or the probation, that you can drink or have any kind of drug.
All right, and why was he late for court?
Judge, he did call my office 2-3 times in the morning, and I was stuck on 381 because there was an accident. But he was in 187 and she doesn't read or write English. So he didn't know that he wasn't supposed to be over there because there's a sign on the door that says to come in.
Okay.
That was it.
All right, thank you. Yes.
His case expired in November for his current probation. So I can't amend it for the weekly reporting, but if you give him instruction.
All right, you need to report to probation once a week until we hear this. And he's actually on probation out of this court for a misdemeanor.
That's correct, Judge. It's 2 years misdemeanor and he was a month or so away from finishing.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Ferguson will give you the reset form and we will see you then.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you so much for coming. Always great seeing you. All right, who is on Brooks? Brooks.
It's where's her name?
All right, Mr. Brooks, come forward. Cynthia Vasquez.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. So my understanding is that you have been unable to reach Mr. Brooks.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks is now here. So do you have a number that I can give to him?
Yes, it's 210.
You can put it in the chat, please,
Yes, ma'am.
unless you want everyone to know your number. All right, you already have it. So Ms. Vasquez, is that 8963?
Correct, Judge, extent, yeah, that's the last one.
All right, so Ms. Vasquez, before I give him a reset form, he's going to step out into the courtroom and call you right now.
Okay.
And if you could, when he calls you, if there's an appointment you want him to make, please let him know. So if you can step out of the courtroom and call Ms. Vasquez right now, she's waiting for your phone call.
Yes, Judge, we will do.
All right, and then we'll take up this matter.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, if I may, the case
Yes.
is closed out due to the warrant being issued because he never came in for the strap temper.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to rescind that.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
All right, they're gonna call you right now and just let me know if you receive the phone call. Who's here? Matthew Gonzalez? All right. Holly Adams, who's here for that one? Yes.
I'm here.
All right, if you can come forward, what's happening with this case?
This is the first setting. We received an offer, Your Honor.
And where is Adams? All right, Mr. Adams, come forward. All right, do you have all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this a complicated case?
Complicated? No.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can I have a 30-day reset for a plea deadline date, please?
February 7th.
All right, we'll be back on February 7th. On February 7th, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. That will be your plea deadline date. After that date, the court will not accept any plea bargaining agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, and then you have Ms. Zuniga.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, are you ready on Ms. Zuniga?
I believe so. What are we doing?
All right, can I have the follow, Ms. Zuniga, please? Just give me 1 second. So Ms. Zuniga, she was supposed to go to felony drug court. And felony drug court was then going to accept her and send her to inpatient treatment. But felony drug court, for some reason, I'll find out. Let me message them. Any objections to the court messaging felony drug court to find out if they still have a space or not?
Not from the state. Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Although I think I understand what happened.
Yes. All right, I just sent an email, so let's see what the response is. And the email I sent, so that everyone will know what it says, I'm asking them if they're still going to be able to accept her. Because she was supposed to go to felony drug court, and then felony drug court was going to send her to inpatient treatment. So just give me a moment. Yes.
No, I'm just.
Okay.
Figure out, sorry.
So if felony drug court is saying, hey, we can't do it, then I'll send you to inpatient treatment from here. Or either you can be revoked. And I think we've already had that discussion about whether or not she wants to be revoked.
I've spoken with felony drug court. Latest was late last week.
Mhm.
And they said they will not accept her currently. She has to go to safety first. I've spoken with Ms. Zuniga and her attorney, and both of them are agreement to go to safety. We just need to with your permission.
No, I mean, we'll put that on the record, but I will say, my mind is a steel trap, as everybody here knows. Felony drug court said, we will accept her and we will send her to safety. And I'm like, great. So we need to go back on the record, and we'll go back on the record. And if there's an agreement, then I'll follow that agreement. All right. So we're back on the record in 2022 CR 3449W and 2019 CR 4221. State of Texas versus April Zuniga. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Brian Kimbrough.
And are you Ms. Zuniga? All right, so we're here on December 13th. The defendant entered a plea of true to 3, 3, and number 41. The court found 3, 3, and 41 true. The state had waived other allegations. Defense counsel in the state conferred with the court, and we all conferred with felony drug court. Felony, well, not with this state's counsel, but the previous state's counsel. And felony drug court wanted her to remain in custody, and they would accept her in felony drug court and send her to inpatient treatment. But felony drug court is informing the court that they're unable to accept her, and inform probation they will not be able to accept her. So the court cannot refer you to felony drug court, but you do need treatment. Ms. Zuniga, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you can state your name for the record, and you can lower your hand.
April Zuniga.
All right, so Ms. Zuniga, I can either send you to inpatient treatment, which I think you needed. That's why I referred you to felony drug court. Or if you want to renegotiate and be revoked, that can be accomplished as well. So would you like to get inpatient treatment?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good choice, because we are trying to better ourselves, right? And we don't want to come back here. All right, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to refer you to SafeP. Probation, what's the wait time on SafeP?
Approximately 17 days, Your Honor.
All right, so they'll get you, they'll probably do a screening, but they'll get you there quickly. Okay. And probation, does she needs to be extended? No.
No, Your
No.
Honor.
All right, any question?
I have a
Yes,
question.
I just want to confirm that that's on both cases.
that is on both cases.
The question, Your Honor.
Yes.
So as I understand it, she is not going back to drug court. Once she finishes safety, she's going to be in this court for the rest of her probation.
You will be in this court unless you want to be referred back to felony drug court, because felony drug court is at capacity. And I know that sometimes people say felony drug court is hard, and it is.
I mean, yeah, it's like, it was like, you know. Yeah.
But here's the thing, it may be what's best for you, because when you have a drug problem, you need somebody that can see you daily. I know they see you daily. I know they get reports on you weekly. I can refer her to SafeP, which I'm doing, and I can refer you to felony drug court after you're released from SafeP.
I guess I'll go through you. I'll just go through you.
See, people think this is a
That's
great court to be.
probation.
All right, so probation, after she completes SafeP, I am going to want field visits. We're going to start with field visits once a week. And if she's doing well on that, we will slowly taper it off. But I want field visits once a week for at least a month, and then we'll slowly start tapering it off. If she's doing fine, then we'll do field visits twice a month for 2 months. And then we'll go down to field visits once a month until further notice. All right, is there anything else from either side?
Nothing for the-
Nothing from state.
All right, Ms. Zuniga, any questions?
No,
Do you want to complete this successfully?
yes,
Get your life together?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. So what's up with the neck tattoo? Who is that?
and then it's just like a tattoo where it's a, you're not.
All right, so is it anybody you know, or it's just?
No,
the
no, it's
face?
just a regular tattoo.
All right. I'm always wondering why people get tattoos, what they're about.
I
Okay,
didn't have finished.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
But Sean, do you need to go over conditions with her?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, Matthew Gonzalez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Sure, no problem. So where are we on this case?
So, Your Honor, I believe this is the first setting. We had not had an offer ready for him yesterday.
Mhm.
We contacted the family yesterday afternoon. And there was some potential Brady that they gave us, so I would just request another setting to look into that and to be able to give Mr. De La Garza like a good final offer based on that information.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can I have a regular reset? Is that enough time for everyone?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, Your Honor, and we'll be in touch in between the break to see if we can work it out.
Okay,
And that's
and if you all want to come sooner, just let Ms. Ferguson know. What date?
February 7th, Judge.
All right, so we'll come back on February 7th. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Looks like I had some.
Who's here on Brian Parker? Brian Parker? And have we finished on James Brooks?
Didn't make contact with the trial. We did coordinates, what's to occur next to get him in compliance, Judge.
All right, Mr. Brooks, come up. All right, so when is his next appointment with them?
His next appointment is gonna be after his phone interview, January 20th, Judge.
Okay.
That's when he has his felony mental health pretrial diversion screening to determine he's gonna be eligible. So the pretrial officer just requested that he check in just to make sure, one, that he made that appointment, and two, to see if that's gonna be a viable way to dispose of his case.
Okay.
So Judge, we would ask respectfully, if the warrant could be recalled and his bond reinstated, Your Honor. He does have some mental health issues that he's working through. Center for Healthcare Services does come to his house every week on Tuesday. He does have a case manager with them, and he is compliant with the medication as well, Celexa and hydroxyzine.
And are you still in GPS?
He has
All right.
an advice.
Okay, and is that your father with you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, could he come up, please? Hello. So Mr. Brooks lives with you, correct?
Yes.
All right, so are you going to be able to help him make sure he stays in contact with his pretrial services officer?
I'll do my best.
All right,
Look what we can find her.
okay. Usually I tell people they're in adult court, they're adults, but I realize there are some more issues going on here. And the fact that he has a case manager, that's a good thing. So I just don't want it to be back here again because there's no contact. All right, so what I'll do is I'll recall the warrant, reinstate the bond with the previous conditions, and just make sure he stays in contact with his pretrial service officer.
We'll do, Your Honor.
All right, and then Ms. Ferguson, I need a date after the 20th.
I can do February 7th, Judge.
All right, so we're going to be back here on February 7th, and hopefully there'll be an update on the mental health court.
Yes, definitely will, Your Honor.
All right, just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson, and we will see you then.
After that's, after we do the reset, Judge, may we be excused?
Yes,
Here you go, Renee.
Thank you, John.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Joseph Ramirez, he's gonna be. Pages.
Yeah. And then-
Caroline. So on this one, I marked on the court, yes. Hopefully you can read my writing.
Yeah.
That was the other. Was that a reset? Okay. Reset.
And see Norma. There was some miscommunication, so felony drug court said they will accept Ms. Zuniga back. And they actually have her scheduled for Thursday. So Bashan?
Bianca.
She's here. Bianca. Hi. On April Zuniga. Felony drug court is going to see her on Thursday. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Everything's resolved. on this. Yeah. just got it all.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, and Norma, we need Adrian Perez on Jonathan.
Judge, I talked to you about that one yesterday. He's coming in on Thursday because he has 2 other clients on Thursday.
Okay,
So he'll be here Thursday.
all right, thank you. And then we need David McLean.
David will train the form that has to put on the second. He's asking if the case can get recalled for tomorrow.
Okay, can I see the file, Caroline,
Yes,
on Jackson? Chanel Jackson? Oops. All right, so on the first row, is that your girlfriend? All right, she needs to sit up if she's gonna be in this court. Okay, all right, stay awake, okay? All right, thank you. All right, and then Norma, we need Jerry Valdez.
I called him and I left a message and I texted him. Judge, and I haven't heard back from him.
And we need Matthew Brown.
Matthew Brown is here.
Okay, thank you. We need Kathy Compton.
He's here. He's been locked.
Oh, okay, wow. Good morning. We need Monica Guerrero.
He's. One of our partners is here. Wait. I think Joseph Statesman was gonna come in.
Yes.
So
Somebody was here.
I left him with his list real quick, and so something happened, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so I got an email from some of the drug courts. They said they found this septic house. They said that it just showed that the motion to revoke was open.
No.
So they're actually seeing it on Thursday. They're seeing on Thursday. If she chooses not to be with them, that's fine. So one second.
Okay, so as of right now, he's not wanting to find the conditions of probation. Let me talk to him one more time to see what transpired, but if drug court has accepted her, you want her to go to drug court.
Well, I mean, I made the ruling that she could go to.
Mhm. Okay, so you want me to do all paperwork and everything for safety, but still let her speak and be covering drug court on Thursday.
Yes, okay, thank you.
That's all one.
Judge Pepper.
Yes.
Just let you know, we're handing over the paperwork as we speak for the Ramirez files. I didn't know if that mattered, but yeah, I know we have, so it's gonna break it well, so.
Yes. Oh, no, that's great. We'll do.
I just want to give you a heads up in case, you know.
Oh, thank you. We'll
in case-
stay and
in
get
case
that
council
done.
after.
Okay. And I just got a friendly reminder that there's a judges meeting at 12:30, so.
Hopefully that lasts about like 5
Yeah.
Judge, are we recalling Jackson for tomorrow?
Jackson who's Jackson?
With McLean?
Yes.
Okay. No. If you didn't-
No, she did not appear.
Oh, okay.
And have you been in touch with Adrian Perez?
Yes, it's getting recalled for Thursday.
All right. Is that case working out?
Remember, he has 2 clients on Thursday. He has.
Ah, thank you. All right, can I see the files on Hernandez, please? Juan Hernandez.
He has 2 cases. I think.
Did I already do that?
Yes, yeah.
I might have still try.
From like twice already.
Okay.
Somebody just opened the door, Judge, let it out. Somebody else.
They can't, you know what, they're playing games with you. And does anyone have the number for, Jerry Delvez?
I have his phone number, Judge.
All right,
Let me share it with you.
yes, if you can text it to me.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Approach, Judge.
Hi.
Just saying good morning while I'm here. I stopped by for some other stuff, but how's everything going?
Great, I mean, we don't have, mold and mildew in the 4 months.
Is that something going on?
It was in the other court, but I told Christine Del Prado.
Is that that Portland? There has that time on way back? But I know there was one, was Evangeline in that Portland at one time?
Yes.
That's it.
Mhm.
Wow. Hey, you think that's bad? You could be in Houston, my daughter's in the DA's office, that building got completely blown out with the water. Man, I don't think it'll ever be the same. Well, later. To be good.
It's good seeing you.
Likewise. Thank you.
Yes, I requested. You have to have a number of years experience. So Monica's gonna get her trial cases. And then she just has to wait time before she gets on. But it's not. You can't get rid of it.
Jayden Green. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. So what is happening with Mr. Green?
Your Honor, I think we're at an impasse, but
Oh, I'm sorry, just give me one moment. Could you mute me, please? So you always answer calls for your mom, of course, and babies. So let that be a message to everyone. All right, so what is happening with this case?
it sounds like we're at an impasse, but there are some witnesses that I would like to talk to, which might impact, I don't know, an offer for them, but as for today, I know the state would not be ready.
Okay, so are you okay with giving the state extra time to maybe talk to other witnesses?
So, Your Honor, this is our 9th setting. Mr. Green has been on an ankle monitor for 441 days.
Okay.
Gotten pregnant, had a baby, and the baby had his 1-year birthday too. So it's been a long time coming. We're ready for trial. But, you know, I understand Ms. Mitchell just maybe a week or two that
Right.
she's been here.
Well, they're saying that their offer may change to something different, so.
Yes, Your Honor, and the problem is that I think any offer at this point, because of the repercussions and the collateral consequences of a plea, are so severe for him that that's why we've always wanted to go to trial on this case. So we're ready with whatever the court decides, but I completely understand But I would ask for the ankle monitor to be removed if that's the case.
But the only thing is, we do have cases that are before his. I know it's a 9 setting,
Right.
but those 9 settings are not 9 settings for jury trials, as you know. Some of
Sure,
it is
sure.
discovery.
Sure.
So with regards to the monitor, does he have a curfew? Is he on track?
No, Your Honor, we've submitted several motions. If you look at the court's history, for permission to travel, he's had a couple of funerals to go to. But even as of New Year's, he had a job opportunity in Vegas. And he had to turn that down because of the short notice and everything else. So he's been doing some fairly, minimum wage type of job
Well,
while he's been on the ankle monitor,
all right,
but
so
we would like for it to
correct
be.
me if I'm wrong, and this is just me making assumptions, and if my assumption is incorrect,
Okay,
let me know it's incorrect. Both parties. I'm assuming that he's on GPS because no one wants him near the complainant.
and there's
Yes.
been no contact, Your Honor, and part of the other reason why he was because he had another case pending in this court at the same time. So when this case was filed and sealed. And so when this case was unsealed, was already here pending
So
another
here's
case.
my.
That case has been dismissed.
All right, so here's my
So-
question. Is there any objection to him being on tracking? And that he just not have contact?
I would simply ask that there be blackout zones on his GPS.
I have no
within
problem with that if they have the complainant.
Her, I believe her employment as well as her address.
All right, so if you all will craft a motion.
Okay.
And put in there what the address is. Then the court will be agreeable to that, because I think that takes care of your concerns. Now, the next question is, because we do have other cases that are before yours. I'm slowly, well, not slowly, I think we're quickly working our way through cases that were on the docket before I took the bench. So I don't have cases really sitting here that long, but we're close to finishing all of the cases that were on the docket before I was on the bench. So we're working our way through them, and we try to give people cases as quick, get their trials as quickly as possible, but still letting your attorney have all the discovery they need. So we're going to reset it for jury trial. Ms. Ferguson, when is the jury trial setting for family violence? And how long do you all expect this trial to last?
I would say 4 days, probably.
I think that's on the higher end. It could be
Possibly. It depends on how
2 or
many
3.
witnesses they
How long
have.
is the video?
There's several interview videos.
How long are they?
There's one that's an hour for.
Is it
her.
under 10 hours?
Yes,
All
yeah.
right, that's our baseline. Is it under 10 hours? Yeah.
And Your Honor, I would ask that the videos be played. There are some dead zones because I've edited out all of them to send for transcripts. So we're looking at probably a maximum of 2 hours in videos, interviews.
Oh,
That's
So,
not extra.
yeah, so we're not looking at
And
body cams or.
is it
anything.
less than the length of Avatar? That's what we
Yes.
need to start
I
saying.
would say yes.
Okay.
I could agree to that too.
So you've seen that?
Yeah, but it's a good movie. It's probably more entertaining for jurors to watch
Well,
out
at least
for than
it's
it
not
would be
like-
for interviews. but-
At least it's not like Gilligan's Island, because it was a 3-hour tour. All right, Ms. Ferguson, when can we bring them back for trial? And what I'll do, because they're saying that the offer may change, I'm going to make it your jury trial date and also your plea deadline date, in case you all decide something different.
Judge, I can do February 28th.
So it's going to be February 28th.
Okay.
And Ms. Ferguson, make sure that we'll make sure that you're number 1.
Okay, that would be great.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ferguson.
And
Will
we
you-
can just submit an agreed order.
Yes, just do the agree order and put the zones for me,
Perfect.
and then make sure your client gets a copy of the zone, so we won't have any issue.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. May we be excused?
Yes, after you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay, thank you.
And everyone, I have a judges meeting at 12:30. So
Can I make a quick announcement?
just 1 second. Going in order of appearance.
Just, I don't know who I need to talk to.
Okay, Herbert King.
Well, Judge,
Hello, Mr. Stateson. It's always a pleasure to see you.
nice to see you. I'm gonna do the plea for Monica Goodettle.
All right. Court is calling 2022 CR 9493, State of Texas versus Herbert King. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Monica Goodettle is the attorney of record. Joseph Stateson, assistant attorney. Mr. King, would you give this court permission for me to do this in place of Monica Goodettle?
Yes, sir.
All right. And are you Herbert King?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. King, I'm going to show you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on an indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're waiving the additional enhancement paragraphs.
Any objection?
No objection.
Mr. King, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. King, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in prison. There's a $2,500 fine. State is silent on your applications. There's to be no contact with Donald Clark and Kiki Davis, and they're waiving the enhancement allegation. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. So exhibit number 1 with all its attachments.
No objection.
Mr. King, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. All right, your sentencing date will be for March 23rd at 9 a.m. The court will base its decision on your application based upon the PSI report and any other evidence that is presented to me. Do you understand?
Your Honor, my
Oh, March when? Okay, it's March 6th.
Your Honor, my client did wish to make a request regarding conditions of bond. He's on a monitor.
Yes.
He's had no violations. We understand that conditions of bond drop off after his sentence, but he's asking if perhaps monitor can be lifted today.
All right, so what is the conditions of the monitor? Is he on tracking? What's going on?
GPS.
No, I mean, I know it's GPS, but are you on a curfew? Are you?
Yes, ma'am. And it's I just recently started a new job and it's starting to affect my job. Like I can't. They have to set me at a certain time to be in, a certain time to be out, and a lot of times I walk back and forth to work. So they only giving me like an hour before, and it's like an hour, maybe an hour 45 minutes for me just to walk to work.
All right, state.
State's not opposed if he has a employment, Your Honor, but the state would ask that he would he's told not to contact the victims in this case or the witnesses in the case.
Okay, so what I'm reading in the report is, you know where the complainant lives, because this allegedly happened where the complainant lived. So you know you're not supposed to be on those streets. You know you're not supposed to contact the complainant, and that includes the complainant and your ex-fiance.
Yes, ma'am. I'm fine with that.
Well, here's the thing. People tend to ignore when people have X in front, but X means it's over. Ex-wife, ex-husband, ex-girlfriend. The only people you can't put X in front of is ex-children. You never heard that. No. You've never heard that, even when they ask for money.
No,
So
I respect that. She's moved on. I've moved on. I actually have a baby on the way, so I'm trying to do what I need to do to be there in my child's life. That's
all right, so we can do tracking, but he is not allowed to contact the complainant at all or contact his ex-fiance.
That's fine.
And I put my hands in quotes because I want you to realize it is X. That's what that means, no contact. She doesn't want you anymore.
Oh, my fiance will kill me.
Yeah, yeah, well, then guess what? You won't be on probation. So, but she is X, okay? So if you can bring an order to the court, and actually they're telling me that your setting date is March 6th.
I will get an order sent to you. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, off the record.
Yes.
I have a fun joke I heard if you like to hear it.
Yes, I would love to hear the joke.
Why did the boy throw butter out the window?
Wait, why did the boy do what?
Throw a stick of butter out the window.
Oh, because he wanted to see a butterfly.
That's gonna go on the PSI, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I like it though. All right, Michael Rios. Michael Rios. All right, what is happening with Mr. Rios?
It's gonna be a plea.
We're gonna do a plea, judge, and
Paperwork is not done, Judge, just like, you know.
All right, so can we get that done today?
no, judge, I have a doctor's appointment at 1:15. Can we recall it in the morning? I'll be first thing here in the morning, judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we call this for tomorrow morning at 9 for a plea?
Paperwork will be ready by then, Judge, I think.
All right, we'll see you back tomorrow. Yes, we'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be here with bells on, judge.
All right, ring the bells.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, we'll see you back tomorrow.
Be excused, Judge.
Yes. Who's here? Brian Parker.
Oh, that's Eric DeWalt, Judge. He's going to come back at 1:30 for trial.
Ah, yes. Okay, thank you. So let me let you keep that so I won't continue to call it. Bernardo Huerta.
Morning,
Good morning. Where is Mr. Huerta?
He is right over here.
Oh, come on down, Mr. Huerta. All right, so where are we on this case?
Judge, this is, I know it looks like on paper we've had more settings, but this is actually just the first setting.
Yes.
I conferred with Oscar. He's gonna get me an offer. I did identify that there's a surveillance video that is not in e-discovery that I'd like him to track down and let me know whether they have it or not. So we just like a regular reset, and I think by then we can probably,
Get some sort of off.
yeah.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can I have a regular reset on Mr. Huerta, please?
March 6th.
March 6th.
No, I mean, that's not, we don't have anything in February?
I mean, February 6th.
Yeah,
Sorry. Sorry, Judge.
no problem. All right, we'll come back on February 6th.
I feel like I have to add my joke to the
Oh, let's
to the list.
hit me with
This
it.
is the only joke I know. It's my favorite one since I was about 8 years old.
Okay.
Did you hear about the three-legged dog that walked into the barn?
No.
He was looking for the man who shot
Shot
his
his
paw.
paw. I like that.
So I had to add it.
Still, you know what my favorite is? Why was the strawberry crying?
Why?
Its mom was in a jam.
So
So there we go. That's all I have.
We both made a lot of laughing cats.
Yes, that's true. All right, Donald Davis. Donald Davis.
I think Ray Martinez is on. Are you-
Oh, I'm sorry. You're here.
I'm not sure where. Stepped out for a moment.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to leave because I have a judges meeting at 12:30. But I will be back here at 1, so everyone will have to come back at 1.
Okay, that's.
All right. And Deputy Laura, it's really 1:30 for you guys, because I know you all need a break too.
Except the court reporter.
All right, I'm gonna sign these real quick and then. Oh, yes.
I was just playing everything. I come back at 1:30.
Yeah.
Judge. Ray
Yes.
Martinez is here.
Oh, yes. What is happening with Donald Davis?
Judge, we have a plea offer from Mr. Davis. I think it's our first appearance.
All right, so where are we on discovery?
I think we've completed, judge. It's not a typical case, so there's no CPS records, there's no child safe interview.
The defense stated many years ago, Judge.
So it's
Okay.
really not.
So offer tendered. Ms. Fergus, can I have a regular reset on Mr. Davis?
February 6th.
All right, February 6th. And you have all the discovery?
I will go through a judge. We're fairly new on the case. He and I will sit down and go over the offer and it's.
All right, so I'm gonna sit, February 6th is gonna be a regular setting. Then after that, I'm gonna give you a quick turnaround for a plea deadline date.
Okay.
All right, just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson.
Judge, you said be back at 1:30, right, for the plea?
Yes, if you, well, yes, because I need to give them a break. So 1:30.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome. And here is this. So everyone, we're gonna go on break.
Read my mind, Judge.
Yeah, I'm reading your mind. All right. And we'll be back at 1:30.